We have spoken to these guys before, but they were just brilliant. And as you know, we cover all sorts of different creativity on this show. Poetry, comedy, spoken word, performing, all sorts. So we are going to re-meet them. They've got their final show before they make their Edinburgh debut. We already know that Improv Wolves are pretty cool and they can create new sketches on the spot, new characters, and often with like the audience suggestions at the heart of it. Recently, they've been to Swan Theatre in Worcester, the Rickmail Comedy Festival and the Beardy Folk Festival, which is not too far from Clearby, Mortimer. It's Smethwick next week. It's glorious Smethwick for Rob Lane and Laurence Saunders from Improv Wolves. And they join us now. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, Nina. I'm great, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm good too, Nina.
Hello. So I've got, I can tell which one's which, you see, because I've got a little green box around them. So Laurence and, Robert Lane with his really posh kind of microphone setup. So it's lovely to see you two again. Just give us a reminder of what is improv. So how would you describe it?
Oh, is that me? Right, improv.
Yeah, that's you, Laurence.
Right, I'm improvising now. Well, basically, it's making things up on the spot, I guess. And it was an improv comedy. It's a little like, I mean, people always talk about things like Whose Line Is It Anyway? The TV show that was a big hit back in the 90s and early 2000s, I guess. But it's also a bit like, I like to think of it as, when you see a stand-up comedian and they've gone viral on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is that the cool kids use these days. Often it's a bit where they've gone off the cuff and they're having a bit of and they're riffing with the audience. And I think that's essentially what improvisation is or can be, that the feeling of it being created in the moment and taking the audience along with you. So I guess that's what we do. Rob, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. For me, it's like it's the ultimate collaboration and creativity, really. And there's a show, we have no idea what it's going to be 10 minutes before it happens. Often we have no idea what it was 10 minutes after it's finished happening.
Or during it.
Definitely during it. But yes, us as the performers and the audience are collaborating to make this thing, which I personally find rather exciting.
Yes.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's so fun. I saw Mark Simmons, a comedian, last week, and he was kind of doing a tour, testing out his new jokes on people. We're talking about like crafting that joke. And part of his act is audience there says, what hobbies have you got? As if someone says, oh, I'm a wrestler or whatever, and he comes back with the one-liner straight away. So I find it so impressive that people like you can think that quick to talk to people and to come back.
It's pretty brave thinking quickly and coming back with a comeback to a wrestler.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong, what's he going to do to you? Half Nelson.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it, if that happened? So remind us how you've kind of got into this. So you're working together. What were you doing before you got into improv?
Oh, well, for me, I've kind of got into improv, I guess, first of all, actually from watching Whose Line originally, as Laurence has mentioned. I used to watch it with my mum on a Saturday afternoon. I think it must have been being repeated. I've been quite into that. And then at uni, I was in a little comedy group and stuff, and I've always acted, and then had a kind of break from theatre for a bit and had a bit of a music adventure, playing out music and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I just got back into this idea of improv. I mean, I'm really interested in creativity in general. And so for me, the idea of just getting on stage with 3 or 4 other people and creating something there in the space is very exciting to me. And then Improv Wolves, we've got together the sort of core 4 of us that we've got now. We started performing about 2 years ago, and each of us has sort of interest in history. So I've done acting and music stuff. Lee is a stand-up comic and also a teacher. Emma's a doctor and a very experienced improviser with various groups around the Birmingham circuit. And Laurence can probably talk for himself.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, I can. So a bit like Rob, actually. I mean, I've worked as an actor and also played a bit of music as well. And interestingly, I think Rob and I, we first met playing in different bands on the same bill. We can't quite work out through the haze of music history where that was, but we played a couple of gigs on the same bill. But I work as an actor, and I got into improv kind of things through like Whose Line Is It Anyway, and also I went to Birmingham Theatre School, which was at the old Rep Theatre, the first purpose-built built repertory theatre in the country. I didn't go to it then because that was like in the early 1900s it was built, but there was a room upstairs there, and
you were busy then, weren't you?
I was busy in the early 1900s. Yes,
yeah, you're just retiring then, were you?
Yes. And Chris Rosansky, who ran the school, that's one of the texts that he talked about was a book called Improv by Keith Johnston, which is pretty amazing, really, and that's always informed my work as an actor as well. And by that, I don't necessarily mean that I make the lines up. Obviously, you stick with the script when you're working with a script as an actor, but there's something about the spontaneity and being alive, and being in the moment, I guess, is what it's called these days, that you bring to it. So that was my route into it. And then Rob got in touch when he was putting Improv Wolves together, and we've been touring the country ever since.
Together ever since.
Yeah.
And I guess
like we were on Remand or something.
And I guess kind of when you're an actor and you're on stage, I know you have a script, but talking to some actors, if somebody kind of forgets their lines or whatever, you have got to do a certain amount of improv then to get them back to the story, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Or you can point at them and say, what are they doing?
Yeah.
You shouldn't really do that.
So you have to be super alert. That's what I mean.
Super
And
alert,
it's like being super alert. Now, Edinburgh Fringe shows, is this the first time that you've been to Edinburgh Fringe?
It's the first time that Improv Wolves have been.
Great.
I think various of us have done other things at the Fringe in the past, but this is the first time for Improv Wolves. We've done, I think you may have mentioned earlier, other festivals around Ludlow, the Rickmail Comedy Festival and stuff, but Edinburgh is the... I don't want to say the biggie, it's not the more important one, but it's the most famous one and the most sort of most attended, most difficult. So it's our first time up there.
Yeah, I guess you've got, as well as the audience, you've got critics, you've got people looking for the next new thing, I suppose. You know, it's quite a community of creatives, not just watching them, but they're watching you as well, I suppose.
Yeah. And it's got a history of that, I guess. So that's part of the draw with it for performers, audience and critics, and also the comedy industry, the television industry alike, I guess. That's why they're all drawn there, like a kind of big Scottish magnet.
A big Scottish honey magnet type thing. Now, I know you're on your last few rehearsals, but you've kind of come to us because you want a hand with things. What would you like us to do here at Upload?
Well, if anyone can write the show for us, it'd be absolutely brilliant. Write the whole thing.
Yeah, and also write some nice reviews would be... So the way that our shows generally work is we create scenes and characters and stuff on the spot, but we tend to use audience suggestions in the room for the stimuli. How about that?
Ooh, look at you.
I should have been in for the to get us going with the ideas that we're going to do, basically. And what we thought would be interesting, as you say, to kind of help us practice doing that, is if we put out a call to your listeners, actually, to provide us some ideas, which we could go away and actually do some improvising, which we could then give back to you afterwards. So kind of what we're planning is to get some what we call askfuls, which is, as it sounds, basically during a show, we set scenes up by asking for things and then seeing what responses we get.
Okay, so if you do want to do that, and please do, we'd love to see what you're going to send us. upload.westmidlands@bbc.co.uk, and then we'll pass them on to you. Now, I'm just going to do a really quick example here, and I don't know if this works. So if I said to you, how would you create the character, or how would you work with this if Ozzy Osbourne was a bin collector?
Are they on strike still? I can't tell. It's been like this for years.
He's sitting at home, wasn't he? I'm not going out, Sharon. We're on strike. And he'd talk about the dog. Oh, dog mess, wouldn't he? That's what he'd do.
I'm going to collect it, but I'm feeling a bit paranoid about it.
And I'd say, I'm sure that, oh yeah, very good, Robert. Yes, that's what he'd say. And then he'd say, I've just raised 150 million quid for charity. I'm sure you could give us a pay rise.
See, there you go. So that's just a little example. And if you do have an idea, do get in touch. It's been lovely to speak to you. We will hear from you next week, and we will send you the ideas for rehearsal. And next Saturday in Smethwick, you're going to be.
Yeah, sorry, Nina. Could I just ask for the ask-fors?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, so there's two possibilities that we'd like people to send in. choose one or do both if you like. So the first one is a reason for people to meet. That's a reason for people to meet.
Ooh.
And then the other one is something minor that annoys you, something small that annoys you.
Crikey, you're going to get thousands of those in.
Well, that's all right. And, just interpret those however you want. So a reason for people to meet, something small that annoys you.
Yeah, or anything really, actually, would be quite cool.
Yeah.
But those are the two things that
Brilliant.
really
Let's see how we can help you out, and we'll be in touch with you in the week as well. So thank you so much for your time. That's Rob Lane and Laurence Saunders from Improv Wolves. Catch up with them performing next Saturday in Smethwick, and you know how to get in touch to give them the ask fors that they've done. upload.westmidlands@bbc.co.uk. So reason to meet, and the other one is minor things that annoy you. Do you know what? I'm going to start writing them now. They are going to be so busy. So very, very busy.